There we go. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm here today with Debbie from Freebird Spirit. So glad you guys are all here. And Tyler's here too, as you can hear him.
Hi, Tyler. We're in here. We're in here, bud.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk about all the energy coming in for the eclipse. So the lunar eclipse. And interesting, I was looking it up and they said that there's a lot of feminine energy there. And that it actually might affect females more, or if you're on your feminine side more, if you relate more to that.
Oh, how interesting.
Yeah.
One thing that I'm seeing too here with this is when you have an eclipse and a full moon, it's like the full moon times 10.
Oh, wow.
So the energy is just kind of huge, right? It's also important to. Are we diving into this right now?
I guess we are. Let's go for it. Yeah.
Wait till more people pop in, or I know that there's people there. As part of our family are probably really, our astrologists and stuff like that, and really have some amazing information in regards to it. But what I've been being told by my guide since this morning in regards to this subject is to be aware, because like you said, Terry, this feminine energy coming through, to be aware of our emotions. And emotions are important, and they're beautiful, and they're meant to be. So yes, we need a balance in that. We need to be able to ebb and flow in our emotions, but we haven't really been taught how, right?
Yeah.
It's like it's been either repressed, our emotions have been repressed, or basically they've been repressed or told that they were bad in some way or whatever. And so it's important to recognize right now this, we're having this opportunity where it's going to get really intense. So if you've been sad, it's going to be sad times 10. So be aware of that.
Wow.
And be aware that in your friends and family and loved ones who may be suffering with depression or sadness. And I don't want to be all downer Debbie on this, but I was given that for a reason.
Yeah.
And for them to start tapping on my shoulder in regards to this morning is also unique to really start bringing it in.
I feel like, oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just stepping into the energy now again. So,
I was just going to say, I feel like there's so much guilt and shame in our culture if we show our emotions.
Okay. Yeah.
Exactly.
There is.
Yeah.
And people are, then it becomes like this, like, a badge of honor, when you're not feeling emotion about something. And
right.
It's not, you guys. But I feel like since we have our family here, you guys put this on your list as far as anybody who has loved ones that are in this depression or sadness energy. Put them on your prayers and circle them with love and joy and wholeness.
I love that.
And Suzanne, yes, that's another thing too. If you're an empath, you're going to be an empath times 10. Right? You're gonna, yeah. Suzanne says, I feel like these emotions don't belong to me. Yeah, and that could be
Yeah.
because this is so heavy, like this is so big that as empaths, you're going to be carrying. Every part of our job is helping others carry that burden. You have a bunch of people with the 10 of wands right now. They're all walking around with that 10 of wands and they can't do it alone. So guess what? As empaths, we're going to help them carry those 10 of wands this week, moving into it, and then just on the other side of it. So
Yeah. It's,
then, yes, she said, I just started crying for no reason. Yeah. Well, it is for a reason. So it's not for no reason. It is for a reason. It's for someone. So go ahead and release that. You have the tools to do that. So thank you for doing that, Suzanne.
yeah. And crying is healing, right? Weeping is healing. It's part of it. Letting it out.
Yeah, moving that energy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Pamela says, my sleep has been so off and nightmares, waking up with intense heat palpitations.
Heart. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Heart palpitations, and thought it was menopause. And she's going to be wearing a heart monitor starting Friday. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. I mean, not good, but good that you're taking care of it.
Yeah, figuring that out.
Yeah.
Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, Pamela Shin.
What's that? Takotsubo?
Takotsubo cardiomyopathy is what my spirit team just dropped in.
Wow. Interesting.
So Suzanne says, I asked for the most benevolent outcome. Oh, for Suzanne, yes. And the heart monitoring. Yes, they'll figure it out. They'll figure it out, Suzanne.
Yeah.
I'm feeling they're going to figure this out. So I also wanted to say, in regards to the lunar eclipse, the lunar eclipse offers you this time to bring things to the surface, right? Tacos, too many. Takotsubo cardiomyopathy. Takotsubo. I'm stuck there now in the Takotsubo. Okay.
No, it's good.
So here we have the universe, and it's shaking things up for us, right? And that's good. Doesn't always feel good, but it's shaking things up, and every so often we just got to shake things up to get things out of the corners, so we can get the mops out, clean up properly, and do all that, right? And so so things will be intense and things will be illuminated. Anything underneath carpets will not be underneath carpets. So this is what's happening this week. So again, we're going to all be feeling a lot, because not just our own stuff, but everybody else's, we're helping carry that burden. Melissa. Hi, Melissa. I've been noticing recently that we tend to deny when we actually have trauma, because saying you've got to say CPTSD, people will accuse you of being drama queen. Claim it if you feel it.
Amen.
That's right.
Yeah.
No, they haven't walked in your shoes. And okay. We have a couple definitions of Takotsubo cardiomyopathy.
Yeah.
Thank you, Wiki.
Thanks, Wiki. Nice.
And Maruta, thank you. Yeah,
Thanks,
there
Marie.
it is, Takotsubo.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, and Melissa, I feel the same way because I'm taking a course right now dealing with trauma and stress and surviving it. And it feels like we just went through a really hard part of it, where we told our stories. All of us in the
Oh,
group.
that was so hard. Yeah.
We just laid it all out there. And so I kind of curled up in a bubble for a couple of days and didn't do anything or go anywhere. But it's a lot. And being gentle with ourselves is so important, right? Just
Oh,
allowing yourself some space and time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pamela knew what it was. She's been a heart nurse for over 38 years. I thought I was saying it wrong, Pamela. I'm sorry. We are wrapping you up with lots of love and hugs.
Yeah, Pamela, always.
I thought I was saying it wrong. So
I had never heard of it before. I thought your guides had just brought it up, and I was like,
you're
wow,
like,
that's
okay, so you're okay, but I do want to I want to talk about this because the CPTSD, any of these traumas and challenges that we have gone through that have brought us shame, we feel like it's shameful, right? We take on the shame of it. We literally take on the shame because that's what our society has done to us. And then we have it playing out right now with E.G. and Carol and these people who have to testify. So again, these things are coming out from underneath the carpet, right? And they're making it so it's not shameful anymore for women to say, hey, this is what happened. The shame is not mine, it's his, right?
Yeah.
And so again, these things, the shaking up, bringing up, and Terry, you went through, was it yesterday or today? We're there.
Oh, my class?
The class was
It
that
was Tuesday. It was yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah.
So in taking back your power and saying, here's my story.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to say the shame is not mine, it's theirs.
Yeah.
Right. But it's hard because you feel so exposed.
Yeah.
But the exposure is on them. See, and that's where we need to change that narrative. It's not on us. It's not ours. It's their shame. It's exposing them and what they did.
Yeah. We don't have to own it. Exactly. And when we look at it that way, I can realize, was that my choice? And no, it wasn't our choice. Often it either happened to us because of a physical condition or because of an abuser, or maybe it was learning disability. I mean, there's so many different things. Yeah.
There's so many different levels. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So many. So it's really interesting that we internalize all that, but we weren't given the skills a lot of times, to cope with things like that growing up. And especially if we're children, we learn how to disassociate and just take it all in and go away. Go away somewhere in your little mind.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which also brings up another thing, Terry, and that's and since you shared a little bit about your story there that you addressed yesterday, your little Terry's coming out. Right? So you have a few little Terrys that are going to be shaken out of the corner, so to speak.
Yeah.
Right. And so when you stepped up and shared your story, it's offering space for some other little Terrys that may have been hiding or disassociated away to come out and emerge and become part of the whole, the one. Mm-hmm.
That's exactly right. I think for so many years, I looked around and saw all these people that acted normal, what I thought was successful and normal, and they had a good life, good family. And if they were doing something, I would do the exact same thing, but I would do it 10 times more. Like I wouldn't do it just, volunteer. I would be the vice president or chairperson of that event or whatever. So there was a movie, I think in the 90s, and it was a girl. She was I think it was French or Italian, and there was this girl, and she was a hip person. She was raised to be a hip person, and then she was going undercover.
Whoa.
Do you remember this?
That movie literally gives me PTSD.
Right? But the thing in the grocery store, and she's going in, and she sees people shopping, and if somebody bought some Chef Boyardee, and she went in, she wiped out the whole shelf of Chef Boyardee and put it in her grocery cart. And I thought, yep, that's me. That's what I've been doing. Exactly.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Jamie says, counseling and meditation have helped me tremendously. That's great, Jamie. Oh,
Gina says whatever normal is. Yeah.
Right? There is no normal. Yeah. A lot of energy here today. Yeah, you're crying too. I've been crying off and on all day.
Me too. All day. Yep, 100%. Me too.
Yeah. So, oh, Miss Charlotte, that's beautiful. Yes, children being traumatized by adults who you figure should know better.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And Spirit Watcher Suzanne, acknowledge and release. Amen, sister. Amen. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead. You got it.
Oh, I was just going to say, Annie Bear said, I talk about anxiety in the third person and can joke about its attempted shenanigans. Awareness.
You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing. Yeah. So
everybody's talking about their littles. Little Susie, little Gina. Yep.
Maruda is opening a can of ravioli while I'm talking about Chef Boyardee. Must be some psychics in here, huh? Oh.
Hi, Kevin Lewis.
Hey, Kevin. How are you, honey? Oh. So what can we do to protect ourselves? Or do we want to protect ourselves? Do we want to embrace it?
Right. So it is more about embracing. We've done the protecting and see that's where we're at today. So we did the protecting part and we protected our littles.
Yeah.
And but now it's time to go ahead and embrace them and allow them out now. And we're changing the narrative. We're taking back our power, and in doing so, Terry, yesterday, your example of sharing your story, that was stepping out in protection of them, because you're showing them we don't have to hide anymore. And we can completely embrace everything about ourselves, release any shame that is because it's not yours. So that is protecting them, telling their story. And whether that is verbally or writing it down or just addressing it to your littles, and acknowledging, I know your story and I think you're fabulous and wonderfully made.
Oh,
you're perfect. Right.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. You are too. You're amazing. Yeah. And this whole community, right? I mean, I don't know what I would have done without having everybody here during the pandemic. And then since then, all the growth. Oh my God.
Everybody. We got each other. We have each other. We've got you. We've got you. You've got me. We've got each other in this. we're not alone. We no longer are alone, hiding in our own little spaces. We've got each other. It's a beautiful space of healing and support here. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really is. Oh, Melissa, you're so funny. That's funny. My little old lady self is Auntie Mo, but my little self is
little Melly. Oh my gosh, I love it.
that's adorable. I'm going to copy that one, Melissa. I love that one.
Auntie Mo and little Melly.
They
They make the perfect you.
do. They do. So, do you have some ways that we can deal with this, like the tidal waves of grief as they come in, or the tidal waves of shame, or because I kind of feel like that's what it feels like to me sometimes. Is do we ride on the top of them? Do we go deep inside?
Oh wow, yeah. So I do feel it's a little bit different for everyone as their littles knock on their door and say, here's a wave of emotion for you, and it's like, okay, it's an opportunity to get on that surfboard, right? So are we looking at it as an opportunity to get on our surfboard and catch this wave and figure it out? Now that we have some tools, we have a surfboard, right? Or do we, are we going to freeze up in it and allow the wave just to bow us down,
Right.
take us out? Can you float in it? Can you so it's how are you going, how do you want to now, when they knock on your door, when the littles knock, and the emotion is hitting, understand that you're still in the driver's seat, right? Because before we'd get an anxiety, a panic attack, and y'all know when a panic attack hits, it's like that hit me from the back. I didn't see it coming. So it hits you. What do you do with it then? So many times it's like you're in fear of fear of fear and of fear of fear. and you're stuck in that panic attack and you can't get out. But I'm telling you, you can. And I suffered years and years of such severe panic that, take me to the hospital type of panic attacks. So I understand. So I'm not just saying this out of nowhere. I'm saying it from my heart space and acknowledging those who suffer from like panic.
Mm-hmm.
That you also can take the wheel. And depression, sadness, these overwhelming feelings that come in. What are you willing to allow to take the wheel? Are you willing to allow any of these emotions to take the wheel of your bus? You can say no, guys, and it's okay. Say, get on the bus. Yes, let's work this out. Let's go to school together. Let's school each other on this. That's okay. But I'm driving the bus. So I'm feeling you. I'm feeling this pain. I see where it's come because I see who you are, and I know what you're attached to. I know where that pain is coming from. Let's take a look at it. So, and I know I'm using these metaphors and things, but I'm hoping that these pictures will help you in recognizing that when something hits, literally picture on the bus, shift and transfer yourself on that bus. I'm driving the bus. Let's see who's on. Okay. I see you, little Debbie. I know. Yep. You're 10. I gotcha. I know exactly what happened at 10. I've got you. I've got you. I've got this. I'm going to work with this 10-year-old now. You know what I mean? So you have more control over the emotion than allowing the emotion to have control over you.
Yeah. I love that. That's such a great tool to ride that bus.
Ride the bus. Get on the bus.
Because I feel like, we talk a lot about surrender and letting go, but when that panic sets in and that energy comes up,
You're just like,
Huh?
what?
Yeah.
Wait,
What are you talking about?
yeah, I surrender this. It's not going anywhere. Yeah, right. It's like, yeah, right. When you can hear a ton of people, yeah, right. Surrender this. You try. You try to surrender this. It's okay. Don't surrender it. Just take hold of the wheel.
I love that idea. Yeah, Melissa talks about breathing. Um, yeah, and that's so important, isn't it? Because and a lot of times we remember to inhale, but we don't exhale.
Right.
We get all that CO2 trapped in there.
And I like that as far as, when you take that wheel, what does that look like? It's taking some breaths, do some of that work that is breathing in and breathing out. Most panic is because you're not breathing. There's no breath going in and your body's going, I'm dying, breathe. So, yeah, that breathing, and also do some movements that are different. So
Oh,
it might be weird to do this. We'll do it. Do this where you're just moving really weird and you're throwing your shoulders forward and you're doing back and forth like this. Back and forth, and you're moving and you're breathing.
it does feel good. It already feels great.
Right? And so
Yeah.
it literally will move your brain, and your mind, body, spirit is all connected, right?
Yeah.
So this panic attack or whatever, this emotion hitting, it's all connected to all those bodies of yours,
Yeah.
right?
Does that activate the vagus nerve? Is that what that's doing? Or is that
Oh, that's probably right. Yeah,
I don't know.
I
Oh,
just know it
first.
works. I just know it works. But I think you're right. I think that does. If you're moving this and you're going back and forth in both these spheres,
Yeah,
then
because you're
yeah, it
yeah,
makes sense. Hmm.
that makes sense. Yeah. 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 Um, I love that. And shaking, right? The shaking stuff.
Yeah. Yes. Shake. And so I often tell people, and they just look at me like you have no idea what you're talking about. But I'm like, well, it works. To throw on some music and sing, get into those words, sing it like you're like on stage and you're the best singer in the world. Just sing,
Oh my
because
god.
it regulates your breath, right? And because you're concentrating on the words and you have to breathe to say the words to the song. And so sing. And if you're able to move, do some movement with it. Dance and sing. Can you imagine?
I love that. Actually, that's one thing in our class last night that we went through is um, declarations like "I'm scared to do this," and we had to sing it, and it made such a difference. It was hilarious, though. Everybody was like,
That's awesome.
"It was hilarious." Oh, Lauren says the movement works. I'm right-handed, so I started using my left hand. I hold onto the wall and stand on my left leg. Wow, that
Wow. There you
is
go. Yeah.
very coordinated, Lauren. I think I might fall over if I did that. Melissa says the swaying gives you a sense of your position in space. It helps anchor you with your body. Ooh, you guys are really good at this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jamie. That's awesome.
Annie Bear dances every day. Good. Yeah, Annie Bear, I'm telling you. It makes a difference.
Um,
Yeah.
oh, so how much of this is like creating our own world? And like, I mean, we say that spiritually, right? That we're creating our own world and we're going to rise above it and we're not going to do it. And then there's that brain quotient that comes in. And that little, like, what's it called back there? The limbic brain or the, what is it? Not the alligator brain. What's it called? I can't remember. Somebody here will know.
I always laugh when people ask me the name of something, or because as soon as you ask me that, it's going to go right out my head. And then plus
Reptilian, the reptilian brain.
reptilian.
cannot remember
Lizard
that.
brain. I like the lizard brain.
Everybody's got
Maruda was on it. She's
it.
Gina and Gina.
Yeah, they were right on it.
They're right on.
Yeah. So that body, mind, and spirit. I mean, there is stuff in the brain still, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is just, and in our nervous systems that we still have to get out, even if we've spiritually released it. This is a big awakening for me this year, is that it can't just be done through spirit, it's also physical.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because our emotional body remembers everything, right? That's why every once in a while, like one of your littles will tap, tap, and you look and you're like, what is my 12-year-old doing here? My 12-year-old self. What is she bringing in for me today? Well, because her body remembers something, right? It's in your body. And if you haven't, in some of the deeper work that that's connected to like your thought processes, that put you in the mind of fear. So it opens the bus door to anxiety attacks to come right on in, because you're living out of that body of fear, that mind of fear.
Yeah.
And that spirit of fear. So when all three are playing together in that fear, you're going to have a panic attack, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
that makes a lot of sense. Well, just saying that brings so much awareness to it too, that it's kind of like, okay.
So this is a deeper healing because all three of them are playing together right now.
Wow.
That means I missed this on the spiritual plane, and I have to rewrite some of my narrative and beliefs around this too, in regards to acknowledging my response to whatever this is. Is this real?
Yeah.
And then your 12-year-old Terry's like, yes, it's real because blah blah blah, and you're like, oh, okay, I see what. So you've taken it deep. You've taken it down and figured it out, and you can help little Terry work on that.
Yeah. Get on the bus, right?
Get on this bus. Yeah,
Yeah.
let's figure this out.
Yeah, Lauren, new neural pathways. That's so important, isn't it? Creating those.
Mm-hmm.
Aries Girl says, yes, ancient people danced, sang, chanted, ate an ancestral appropriate diet, walked on the earth, watched the sunrise, the moon, and the rhythm. True human. Yeah. And some parts of the world still do that, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Just maybe not here in the Western world. So, about awakening, do you think that this is going to bring in a new transformation, a new awakening that, like downloads or?
I do. And I feel like you were talking about, you had tapped in regards to the feminine energy being coming in. This is it's all connected as we integrate ourselves and step into our wholeness that's already there. We are already whole. We're just not walking in it, right? Because we have all our littles all over, bringing them into the whole. So we, as we step into our wholeness, that energy can be ushered in so much more smoothly. And the veil is thinning. They're saying, they just said, remember the veil. Okay. The veil is thinning, right? So, this is so interesting. You can help me out with this, Terry. They're showing me a wedding with the veil on. That needs to be taken off. Like, what is that? Like, they're trying to even hide the bride. Like, what? Like, so
Walk her down the aisle like she can't walk by herself, right?
And hide her.
Yeah.
Keep her hidden.
Yeah.
So there's so many layers to this, you guys, that we need to release. But we are doing it. We're in the process, and we're getting there because it's coming whether we're ready or not. So we are getting ready. We're doing the work. So everybody here is doing the work. We're doing the work. And even on Sunday, we had the opportunity on Dream Stream. So this has been a whole week of our inner child, hasn't it? If Kevin's still here, we started this work last week. And we were to meet up with our inner child in our dream.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I recommend that, you guys. If you're having a hard time really doing the work or really connecting in and releasing some of these things, ask to meet up with your inner child in your dreams. And stuff will come in. The messages will come in. It'll show you what needs to be worked on. That's what happened to me anyway. But I know that a lot of people shared, and they had the same things happening. So what a great way. Collectively, we are allowing trust to return. Yay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Right, Kevin. Definitely. I feel like as that veil thins, it's anything that we're holding on to and we're clinging to it, right? Because that's our story. We can't let go of that because we've had it all our life and we worked really hard on it to keep her protected.
Or hidden.
Yeah, hidden. That's it. That's exactly it, right?
Keep that divine feminine covered up.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
And restricted in a tight wedding gown.
A corset. You can't breathe in.
Keep them restricted in a corset so they can't even breathe.
Okay. And how about all the wedding shows on, right?
I know. Yeah.
It's just like, and so we just keep reintroducing it as a culture.
Mm-hmm.
And the matchmaking shows and everything. And it's interesting that all that's coming up at this time. I hadn't really connected that.
Yeah. No, I'm not against partnering up and creating a divine connection and a beautiful partnership and relationship. And it's what it's kind of turned into, what we've made it into, and the symbols of the cultural wedding. I think it's beautiful when you can unite and have that.
Yeah.
And yeah, get married, but make it different. Make it bring your own vows, do your own thing.
Wow. Right. Okay. So grief. I don't know if we talked about that as much as shame and guilt, but like grief that we haven't let go of, because I mean, we have a lot of shame and guilt here about our grief, or I did for a long time.
Right. Yeah. That and you, Terry, talking to me, knows that that's not something I should own with that, right?
Right.
But again, it's still something that is connected in, that needs to be seen and worked on or hugged.
Yeah. Yeah, it is a lot, isn't it? Because I feel like there's always going to be that hole in your heart. And like Rumi says, darkness is the hole that the light shines through. And it'll always be that little piece of your dark black velvet darkness that you kind of treasure a little bit. It's kind of a beautiful thing. It's like
yes,
like
that's a good way to put it. Let's just reword it that way. This is beautiful. This makes me the warrior I am today. You know what I mean? Instead of it being shameful.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
like that. Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm impressed with myself if I impressed you.
I, Marianne, that's awful that they put you in a wedding dress if you die unmarried.
Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
That's I don't know.
Interesting. I should say interesting, not awful. It's just interesting.
Yeah. I think the spirit is trying to tell us they are trying to put us back in the closet and we need to come out for force and swinging girls get out on the street, right?
That's for sure.
Sisters are I can't remember I can remember a little bit of it, but that's about it. Standing on our own 2 feet. I remember that part.
Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if it's done correctly, Pamela. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm. Okay. So everybody that I'm talking to is having a lot of trouble sleeping right now.
Okay.
Do you have any suggestions for that? Like talking to our guides or our team? How do we, or do we just like own up to it and get some coffee?
Well, definitely go with the resistance, right? If you're awake, get up. You know what I mean? And take it as an opportunity. That being said, it's important again to acknowledge that we're mind, body, and spirit connection, and who's driving your bus here, right? So, and it's individual too. So it would be individual. So some people don't need like sleep. I don't,
Yeah.
Terry's up at all times and never sleeps. So I don't know. I could not function on that. I could not function. I need 8+ hours of sleep.
Yeah.
And if I don't get that, but I was born that way. So my body does not function unless it has that sleep. And so it's more of a, that's, it's chemical for me or whatever.
Yeah.
We come in, some people have blonde hair, some people have brown hair. I have a body that needs sleep. And then there's people who like Sonia says, she hardly sleeps at all.
Yeah.
And I have partners who hardly sleep. I've had partners who my partner right now doesn't hardly sleeps, and she's functions just fine. So it just depending on you and what you need. But I think what you're asking in regards to this is more on an emotional level. Is that correct? When it comes in, and not menopause, not perimenopause, not
Right.
postmenopause. All those things that come into play too, that can wreak with your hormones and cause you an imbalance. So if you're not dealing with any physical imbalance, and you can't sleep, it's more of an emotional thing going on that's causing the not sleep. It's time to really take inventory. I would encourage journaling. I would encourage finding out who's not letting you sleep, which one of the littles isn't letting you sleep, and opening that up. And so there's some of the ways to do that would be doing automatic writing with your littles. So it would be your littles talking to you. Okay, so it's the same as what we talk about automatic writing with your spirit team. This is with your littles, and you say, okay, so who's not allowing me to sleep? Why am I having these nightmares? Why am I not, like that? all those things. You can have a discussion and do that. Another thing, yes, and what Blue is saying, exactly where I was going next, and that is just going with the resistance. So literally, if your body, follow what your body's asking you to do. Sometimes there's a reason that you're to be up at 3 a.m. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so go with it, get up, listen to your guides at that time, do whatever it takes. Yes, and if you can, take naps, take those naps. But it is a sign, it's an opportunity, is what I'm hearing as well. If this is happening, it's an opportunity for you to look at something. But you know, you guys probably know better than me. I know you do, Terry, with some of your meditation and your some of that journey that you've been on. When the teaching of like, if you have pain in your body that is chronic, and you move into the pain instead of continually like being on the outside of the pain and going, I'm in pain, I feel it, it's right here, you know, kind of settling in, and in a meditative state move into the pain, and apparently that releases the pain. So I had the opportunity to do that after my surgery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because I couldn't take the pain medications. So I moved into the pain instead of resisting it. The resistance of things make it worse, right? So, so that example of resistance or flowing with it. So,
Wow, flowing. I love that part. Yeah. I love the way you said that.
yes, candy 3 a.m. is when good stuff happens.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, no, I get my wake up calls, but they allow me to go right back to sleep. They know me. I put in lots of requests.
That's a good idea. Yeah, just putting that. Yeah.
Yeah, I need my sleep. So Jeannie, concentrating on your breath, it clears your mind and sleep envelop. That's a good way. Counting backwards is another way. Just start at a number and start counting backwards, and you will be asleep soon. The CBD oil that helps as well. You know, generally that assists if there's any like more of a chemical thing going on, like the menopausal stuff or perimenopausal, or just an imbalance, because everything's if there's emotions, if the emotional body is upset, it's going to affect the physical body, right? So you can see how things like that would help. 99, yeah, you can go backwards on the 99 bottles of beer.
I love that, Miss Charlotte. Right, Pamela, 3 a.m. is angel time. I had both my dog and my cat coming in, and I don't know how they could open that door because it's an old, heavy door that sticks. And they opened it up and came in at 3 o'clock this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, they've been doing that a lot. So I feel like
Suzanne wants a beer now.
Wine, please.
Oh, and the sleep meditations, Anna, you're right. So if you put on like one of those people who talk to you, just make sure you choose a good one that doesn't. I did that one time just for, to see what is this? You know how you can do these meditations while you're sleeping and they tell you stuff?
I love them. Yeah.
Well, I woke up one time in the middle of one and it was like freaking me out. It was like giving me a panic attack. I'm like, oh, this isn't a good one. So just, that was a long time ago, but be careful, guys.
I do wonder about that. You have to be kind of, willing to like throw yourself there
Oh
because,
yeah, primrose.
yeah, primrose sounds really good. Yeah. So what about new guides? Like, I feel like we've got all these new people coming in to help us.
Yes, isn't that fun?
Yeah.
It's like this new wave of because of what we're stepping into is what I just heard. Because the new is stepping in because there's new coming in, and the preparation for that, and also how everybody's abilities are being heightened as well here,
Yeah.
and recognized and coming forth. And again, they're reminding me of this week, and how we're getting this energy with the moon and the whatever so
I don't know. Lunar
what's it
eclipse.
called,
What?
the eclipse and the full moon.
Yeah.
um it's also ushering in some of that. So that those abilities are coming becoming stronger, so be aware of that too. I feel like some people already talked to that they're hearing more or seeing more, or their clairs are getting stronger. Yeah, that this is an opportunity for that too this week, because of things clearing out. So when you shake things up to clear things out, it automatically makes all those clairs clearer. Okay, thank you for that, team.
So, um, Kevin brings up a good thing. I've been missing time and I've been gaining time. I feel like
Ooh,
the time continuum is changing, or else we're jumping it somehow.
ooh. Do you think that's how? Do you think this is one of those things they talk about as far as a time jump, like a timeline jump or something?
I
Like
think so, maybe.
depending on how we all um, we're merging onto either this timeline or this timeline, depending on how we all react to something.
I think
I
we.
don't know. I don't know enough about
I
that type of stuff.
Yeah. I think that we have those parallel lives, right? And the other day I was on a show and I had a big spark that happened. And I've got a shaman friend and I asked him about it and he said, yeah, your timelines bumped up against each other. You got too close to
Oh,
him. So, but I feel like we're getting close to that. Like we always create our own lives, right? Our own journey here. And what we see is what we create. But then having um, now as all this is happening, there's a lot of people that are creating different things. And so, yeah, I think there might be some bumps going on there. Maybe that's part of
okay.
that chaos. I don't know.
Oh, okay. That shaking.
Yeah. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to have to ask you this. I feel like there's new energy in the earth. Like I'm feeling like she has governors in a way. Like that there are spirits that are awakening that take over
Okay,
territory.
wait, before you say, don't say
Okay.
anymore. Don't say anymore because she's showing me. I'm being shown something,
Okay.
and so right when you were saying that, I was being shown this, and I didn't know what it was until you said, "Oh, there's being." I literally, um, like again, the metaphor. It's not. It's probably not like literal, but she was showing me like these big things that have been closed, and they said it's now time, and so they started to open this up to let this flow in. And right when I was seeing that, you were saying, and you go ahead now.
Well, I feel like these are entities of the earth, and they're like her managers or something,
Oh, interesting.
and they kind of cover like a certain territory, each one, like a governor or a senator or a noble person or whatever that has this land that they're entrusted with, and these entities, and also the elementals are all involved in all of it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I feel like we haven't experienced this energy, but maybe like another Earth or another Earth time. I I I, I don't clearly understand it, but it feels like because of what it was in, the energy went in and it was closed in until the time again, right? So it would be absolutely new to this earth or whatever this. Okay, so every and I'm making this time up, but let's say every 5,000 years, everything is kind of reshifted or something, a reshift happens. Whatever the time is, it's like we're in that reshift. And so now it's time to open that up. So you're right. You're spot on with that, Terry. Is what.
Interesting.
I feel like this, it's similar to, and I don't want it to be a negative thing, but because it's not negative at all.
Mm-mm.
But I want to say, and I'm not sure Lumeria is the right word, but Atlantis or, that type of feel to it is when it may have been here before.
Okay, because somebody was just saying something about their cat, and I think the Lemurians were here quite a bit.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Overlord.
Oh, okay. So, yeah. So those are it. But I'm not familiar with any of this, you guys. I'm not. I'm just trying to bring through a message with my limited language. It's a beautiful time, though. For expansion, it's time. It is time. I just keep hearing it is time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do too. I think for all of us, see who can handle the resonating. And Sonia sees big cracks in the roads and water cracking through everywhere.
Mm.
Water.
Lots of water. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're going to see more and more of that. Mm-hmm.
So, oh golly. So we're getting close to our time. Is there anything that you want to tell us or give us for the coming week that we can help with our energy?
The coming week, yes. Well, be kind to yourself, you guys. And be kind to your littles. Love on them, hug on them. And really, it's important as this opportunity comes this week, recognizing it as an opportunity of your own expansion, of your own abilities and all your clairs, your seeing, your hearing, your everything is expanding, and part of that is this shaking and uniting your whole. And remember, remember your power. You're the one in charge. You're the one in power.
Yeah.
They're also saying here, there's a new message coming. It's a new message. Oh, this is interesting, Terry. This is something new. I've said that 5 times now already. I'm sorry, but that's what it's a new message. I feel like be prepared, you guys, to write. spend some time just in silence and writing whatever messages come. I feel like some of you are meant to receive some messages, some new messages. It wouldn't be, you know, we get on here and we follow a few people that you know, really are beautiful and guiding us and bringing through messages of strength and power and remember who you are. And there's going to be a new narrative coming in and something new. And I feel like some of our family here are going to be receiving that. So whoever spends time journaling and writing, raise your hand, because I feel like it's coming to you. Be prepared to receive new message. There you go, Suzanne. Be prepared, because we need to hear the new message. And then we'll pop on the train with you and continue to speak that message out. But it's coming to you guys. To Suzanne, and I feel like there's other people. There's a couple others here too.
Yeah. I think room full of psychics, they got a lot of stuff to say.
Yeah.
In Lumeria and Atlantis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot going on.
Recruiting. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Suzanne's raising her hand. Suzanne, I can't wait to hear. That water. Pamela and I both got water. It was I don't know how long ago. Pamela was about a month or two ago. We both connected into this, like water. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be something. Yeah.
I've been kind of feeling that too, the water coming in, and also people saying to get filters, water filters.
Okay.
You know.
Oh, interesting.
Getting rid of any junk in the water.
But again, I don't want to leave it on a thing of like, it's not fearful. It's very exciting, and everything that we have been hoping for and praying for is shifting in, and we're here for it, right? And so that is all good. And with this next full moon and lunar eclipse and our veils being taken off even more so we can hear, and we're going to get the heads up of things. So we're going to be able to, if something's coming in, we're going to know, so we can either go outside or not, like that kind of thing. And Jamie's getting her note. Good, Jamie, get it out.
I love it. I've got mine out here, girl.
All right, all y'all who are journal, and it's time, because the message is coming through you.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Debbie. This was really great. And
thank you, Terry, for having me.
I feel really honored you were on and talked to all of us about this. So it's great.
Thank you for having me on. And thank you, everyone, for your amazingness. And remember to love on your littles.
Yeah. All those littles in that bus. All right, everybody.
Okay.
Thank you. Namaste. Much love, everybody.
Hugging you all. And your littles.